In the realm of familial dynamics, the influence of a wise mother-in-law can rekindle the dwindling embers of familial warmth, while the folly of an imprudent one holds the potential to extinguish even the most fervent flames of affection. Such is the wisdom imparted by tradition. Alexandra's abode nestled in the outskirts of Vancouver, Canada, a haven they sought after migrating from Yugoslavia. Her upbringing followed the trajectory of normalcy, evolving from a spirited child into a strikingly tall, astute, and alluring young woman, capable of ensnaring hearts with ease. It came as no surprise when she ventured into the realm of beauty pageantry, gracing the stage of Miss Canada in 1985. Amidst a sea of contenders, Alexandra stood out, her charisma drawing companionship effortlessly, even garnering the admiration of high-ranking officials. Yet her allure extended beyond mere physicality. Her amiable demeanor and wit wove a captivating spell around those in her orbit. Employed as a dental assistant, Alexandra treaded a path not of her passion but one supported by her parents, who deemed it a bastion of financial security. Despite this, her bond with her mother remained unyielding, a testament to their unwavering connection manifested through shared outings, daily conversations, and weekend rendezvous at local events. It was amidst one such gathering that fate intervened, the strains of their native tongue catching their ears. In the foreign expanse of their new home, encountering fellow countrymen sparked an immediate kinship, prompting the mother and daughter duo to engage in conversation with the newfound acquaintances. In a narrative reminiscent of a classic detective tale, the story unfolded with the mysterious introduction of two individuals who identified themselves only as the enigmatic P6. Sam and Jelka, as they were later revealed to be, emerged from the shadows of anonymity, their past shrouded in the mists of migration from Yugoslavia to the Canadian shores. Their connection to Alexandra, it seemed, was more than happenstance. Jelka shared a closeness in age with Alexandra's mother, and this commonality bridged the gap between strangers, instantly forging a bond. As they delved into conversations steeped in nostalgia for their homeland, the wheels of fate turned with Alexandra's mention of car troubles. Serendipity struck when it was unveiled that the elusive P6 owned an auto repair establishment. With insistence akin to a seasoned sleuth, they urged Alexandra to entrust her vehicle to their care, assuring her of top-notch service at fair rates. The location of the shop was disclosed, accompanied by a recommendation to seek out Joe, the proficient son of the P6 duo. Joe, a 27-year-old with the allure of a classic leading man, found himself captivated by Alexandra's charm, his heart echoing with hopes that her son would reciprocate similar sentiments towards his own daughter. The stage was set, and when Alexandra arrived at the repair shop, the entrance of the dashing Joe signaled the commencement of a romance worthy of a noir novel. Their courtship unfolded like a well-crafted plot, with romantic dinners at the city's finest eateries and exhilarating rides on Joe's motorcycle. Their connection deepened swiftly, akin to a tale spun by fate itself. Both families embraced the union, delighted by the harmonious blend of cultures and values that Alexandra and Joe shared. However, what initially appeared as a harmonious narrative soon took a dark turn. Alexandra's elation over Joe's proposal was marred by the looming shadow of Jelka, whose overbearing presence threatened to unravel their happiness. With a tenacity bordering on obsession, Jelka sought to assert her dominance in the wedding preparations, disregarding Alexandra's wishes and imposing her own vision upon the proceedings. A clash of wills ensued between the bride-to-be and her prospective mother-in-law, each steadfast in their convictions regarding every aspect of the ceremony. From floral arrangements to menu selections, their disagreements echoed like the discordant notes of a somber melody. Jelka's unwavering confidence in her own opinions clashed with Alexandra's desire for autonomy, casting a pall over what was meant to be a joyous occasion. In this intricate web of familial drama, where love and tension intertwined like threads in a complex tapestry, the outcome remained uncertain. Would Alexandra and Joe's love withstand the trials imposed by external forces? Or would their once promising future be shattered by the weight of familial discord? Only time would unveil the truth behind this tale of love, ambition, and the tangled webs of family ties. In the tangled web of familial relations, the role of the future mother-in-law loomed large, her insistence on asserting authority in the wedding arrangements sowing seeds of discord within the familial fold. Alexandra, envisioning her nuptials through a lens divergent from that of her prospective mother-in-law, found herself embroiled in a conflict of visions, exacerbated by Joe's conspicuous silence in the face of his mother's meddling. Though Joe observed Jelka's overbearing conduct with a discerning eye, his reluctance to confront her only served to compound Alexandra's distress. Desiring peace above all else, she beseeched Joe for support, trusting his assurance that he would intercede on her behalf. Yet despite his promises, Jelka's interference persisted unabated, casting doubt upon the viability of their union in Alexandra's mind. Amidst the tumult of familial strife, Alexandra's parents emerged as beacons of solace, offering reassurance in an otherwise turbulent sea. Their conjecture that Jelka's behavior stemmed from an excess of maternal zeal provided a semblance of comfort to Alexandra, prompting her to re-engage in the wedding preparations with renewed determination. On the auspicious day of June 11, 1988, Joe and Alexandra embarked on the journey of matrimony, their union symbolizing the convergence of two families. Yet the veneer of familial harmony proved ephemeral, dissipating upon their return from a blissful honeymoon in Hawaii. Alexandra's disillusionment deepened as she realized the extent of Jelka's intrusion into their lives, her control over Joe's finances serving as a stark reminder of her pervasive influence. Despite Alexandra's fervent appeals for Joe to assert his independence, his steadfast adherence to his parents' directives only served to drive a wedge between them. The ostensible gesture of generosity, a monetary gift for a down payment on a home, was marred by the conditionality of Jelka's stipulation, coercing the young couple into acquiescing to her dictates regarding their choice of residence. In the crucible of familial expectations and conflicting desires, Alexandra found herself at a crossroads, grappling with the realization that the idyllic union she had envisioned might remain forever elusive in the shadow of her overbearing mother-in-law's influence. In the labyrinthine corridors of domestic discord, the saga of Alexandra and Joe unfolded, their matrimonial bliss overshadowed by the looming specter of familial interference. Jelka's overzealous involvement in the young couple's affairs cast a pall over their home, her relentless intrusion breaching boundaries with impunity. Undeterred by Alexandra's objections, Jelka imposed her will upon their household, dictating everything from groceries to interior decor with a heavy-handedness that grated upon the nerves of the newlyweds. Joe's reluctance to confront his mother only exacerbated the tension, his allegiance torn between the two women in his life. Amidst the tempest of familial strife, Joe eventually rallied to Alexandra's side, confronting Jelka in a bid to establish boundaries. Yet his newfound resolve was short-lived, giving way to resentment as he found himself caught in the crossfire of familial discord. As the first year of their marriage unfolded, Alexandra and Joe found themselves navigating treacherous waters, their love tested by the tumult of familial strife. Though a fragile détente was reached, resentment simmered beneath the surface, poised to erupt at the slightest provocation. The arrival of their son, Brandon, heralded a new chapter in their lives, yet Jelka's overbearing presence loomed large, her well-intentioned gestures veering perilously close to overstepping boundaries. Despite Alexandra's attempts to mitigate her interference, Jelka's actions culminated in a harrowing incident that left Brandon in peril. Alexandra's fury knew no bounds as she confronted Jelka's reckless actions, her trust shattered by the betrayal of her son's safety. Joe's neutrality in the face of his mother's transgression proved the final straw, prompting Alexandra to make a fateful decision to protect her son from further harm. With a heavy heart, Alexandra departed from the home she had shared with Joe, seeking solace in the embrace of her own family. As the specter of divorce loomed large, accusations flew and battle lines were drawn, plunging the once happy family into a bitter struggle for custody and financial assets. Amidst the wreckage of their shattered dreams, Alexandra grappled with the painful realization that the idyllic union she had envisioned was but a fleeting illusion, shattered by the irreconcilable differences that tore her family asunder. In the aftermath of the acrimonious divorce proceedings, Alexandra found herself locked in a bitter struggle with her ex-husband Joe and his formidable mother Jelka. Despite Jelka's staunch support, their legal battle ended in Alexandra's favor, granting her full custody of Brandon, financial support, and ownership of the house. As the dust settled on their fractured marriage, Jelka nursed a deep-seated resentment, viewing Alexandra's victory as the ultimate betrayal of her son. For Alexandra, however, the divorce marked a newfound sense of liberation. Free from the shackles of constant tension and familial drama, she reclaimed her autonomy, returning to the familiar rhythms of her premarital life. Though not without its challenges, Alexandra found solace in the company of her loved ones and the unwavering support of her friends. Yet, amidst the semblance of normalcy, a sinister undercurrent began to surface. An anonymous package arrived in the mail, containing a book titled The Death of Cindy James. Intrigued, Alexandra delved into its pages, only to discover eerie parallels between Cindy's tragic fate and her own experiences. Haunted by the chilling accounts of harassment and threats, Alexandra's unease deepened as she realized the ominous implications of the book's contents. Her fears escalated when she became the target of inexplicable incidents mirroring those detailed in Cindy's story. From mysterious fires to ominous phone calls, Alexandra found herself trapped in a nightmarish spiral of paranoia and dread. Convinced of Jelka's involvement, Alexandra sought refuge in the arms of the law, only to be met with frustration at the lack of tangible evidence. Determined to uncover the truth, Alexandra enlisted the services of a private detective, hoping to unravel the tangled web of deceit surrounding her ex-husband's family. As the investigation unfolded, Alexandra braced herself for the chilling revelation that the sinister forces at play were far more insidious than she could have ever imagined. In the aftermath of the tragic events that befell Alexandra, the investigation took a sharp turn into the realm of deliberate malice. On the fateful evening of August 5, 1992, as Alexandra and her colleague departed from work, a routine trip to their car turned into a scene of horror. Shots rang out, shattering the tranquility of the parking lot as chaos erupted. Alexandra lay motionless, the victim of a calculated ambush that left her lifeless body sprawled across the asphalt. Eyewitness accounts painted a grim picture of the assailants, two dark-haired men fleeing in a stolen red car, leaving behind a trail of devastation. As the investigation unfolded, suspicions turned towards the Pesic family, their motives shrouded in a veil of secrecy. Though Joe and his family provided alibis, their demeanor raised suspicions, casting doubt upon their innocence. The involvement of a familiar face, Milan Nindic, cast a sinister shadow over the unfolding tragedy. With ties to the Pesic family and a history of criminal activity, Milan emerged as a prime suspect in Alexandra's demise. Surveillance efforts bore fruit when Milan's inexplicable rendezvous with Jelka led to his apprehension, triggering a cascade of revelations. The discovery of incriminating evidence, cash, a mysterious name, and a missing firearm further implicated Milan and Jelka in the orchestration of the attack. Yet despite mounting evidence, the elusive truth remained just out of reach, as forensic analysis failed to yield definitive answers. As the investigation delved deeper into the abyss of deceit, the web of lies began to unravel, exposing the dark underbelly of betrayal and manipulation. With justice hanging in the balance, the relentless pursuit of truth became a race against time, where every clue held the potential to unlock the secrets of Alexandra's untimely demise. In the labyrinth of deception and betrayal, the final pieces of the puzzle fell into place, revealing the orchestrators behind Alexandra's tragic demise. As detectives unraveled the tangled threads of the conspiracy, the elusive shooter remained the last missing link in the chain of culpability. A cryptic note led investigators to David Sigiviana, a shadowy figure whose DNA and fingerprints tied him to the scene of the crime. With the assistance of David's girlfriend-turned-informant, a damning confession was captured, providing the crucial evidence needed to unravel the truth. Further revelations emerged from the shadows of the past, as eyewitnesses recounted chilling encounters with Jelka, painting a damning portrait of her involvement in Alexandra's persecution. Fueled by vengeance and resentment, Jelka conspired to recreate the tragic fate of Cindy James, enlisting David as the triggerman and Lawrence as the driver in her twisted scheme. As the truth came to light, justice was swift and uncompromising. David, Lawrence, Milan, and Jelka stood trial for their heinous crimes, each receiving the full weight of the law's retribution. Yet, amidst the wreckage of shattered lives, Joe and his father remained untouched by the taint of guilt, their innocence a bittersweet solace amidst the storm of condemnation. With the perpetrators behind bars, the responsibility of raising Brandon fell upon Alexandra's grieving mother, a solemn testament to the irrevocable loss inflicted by the hands of those consumed by malice. As the curtain fell on this tragic saga, the echoes of Alexandra's memory lingered, a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring quest for justice in a world fraught with darkness.